so feel free to talk or whatever, but anyway, we're at Turkey Swamp Park, and these are a Formica species I forgot the name of. They're tending aphids on a button bush, which is past flowering. This is one of the cool Formica you only find in certain places. So these Formica have a foraging trail. They actually dug into the ground here. It's not super active, but it's definitely, you know, a trail made by them. It's really neat to see.
Ow.
You okay over there?
Yeah, she bit me. I won't let go.
Yeah, they'll do that. These ones do spray a little bit of acid, but they're not as bad as Formica exsectoides. I see one, she was just clearing away some grass, so they do some maintenance to this, oh, there she is again. Do some maintenance to this trail here. So these are cone ants. I believe the genus is Dolichoderus or something. It'll be on your screen. But anyway, they have like a little hump on them instead of spines. If I can get one to do a side view, so you can sort of see it there. Sort of see a silhouette of one there. But anyway, these ants I only ever find on a type of oak tree. I think this is pin oak or swamp oak, one of the two. But it's one of the, actually I think it's white oak. Oh, it's an oak tree. And I only ever find these ants tending aphids on this type of tree, so there may be some connection with that. Try to get a side view here. You can sort of see where they should have, where other ants have spines sometimes. You can see they have like a cone, like a hump. There's perfect shot. That ant in the back there. Yeah. I wish I knew what type of oak tree this was, because it's like full of insects here. Sure thing. So that was a caterpillar of some sort. Probably the type that mimics caterpillar leaf damage. And then over here we have Camponotus pennsylvanicus working, I think these are aphids? Aphids or some sort of leaf hopper. But anyway, this type of oak tree strikes again. There's a patch over here too. I don't have my good camera with me, I'm sorry for that, but get what we can. These are weird looking aphids, by the way. Alright, moving on. So these are sawfly larvae on some plant that I don't know of. And down here we have Camponotus chromaiodes doing something under a leaf. And then something underneath that on the branch here. I don't know what they're doing. There's like two of them under this dead leaf here.
Oh, I see that one.
Yeah.
There's one by
so there's some insect. Oh, there's a bunch of insects actually. Yeah, they're inside these leaves.
Huh.
If I can get that. Yeah, well, they're doing something to those leaves, so leave them at it. We found a frog in a tree. Possibly a tree frog of some sort. Neat.
See, now these look smaller than the ones that I saw that I made that little video of.
They are some type of Lasius, I know that. Or not Lasius, there I go again. Aphaenogaster. And we have 4 main ones, but they're all like species complexes where you have to count the chromosomes in them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's cool that they're just hanging around here.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. And they do have those sharp spines right before the, these segments. I'm not sure what this group up here is doing. They're like huddled up around each other.
Oh, maybe they're protecting. Oh, wow, that is really interesting.
Yeah. But they have not flown yet for the year, because I see all the males down here still.
So do the males fly first?
They usually fly earlier in the day, and then all the queens come out. Actually, no. I'm going to say, I've seen flights of these. And
they're tending something.
Yeah, they fly during that very that very brief period of sunlight going down, or as the sun goes down. Oh, there's a slug right here. They started putting stuff on its head.
Ooh, I saw white. Is that wind?
No, it's a larva.
Huh.
Yeah, so this is Camponotus Americanus. Could you move this wedge out of my way? Oh, there's an alate queen there.
That's who I saw.
Yeah. She won't fly until next year. Actually, could you grab her?
Yeah.
Just by the wings, maybe?
Where is she?
She's underneath in there.
She's so pretty.
Yeah, I just want to have a look at
She's
her.
gonna get me.
Possibly. Let's see here. Alright, let me...
You don't think I hurt her, right? Ooh,
Nope.
I'm sorry. You got her? Uh-oh.
The colony probably made like 100 more.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, they get nice and big. This is one of our more colorful Camponotus species around here. Camponotus Americanus. It's neat seeing some of them, they have like white gasters. They're probably juveniles. One with eggs and stuff. Another slug over there. But yeah, this is Camponotus Americanus.
And so she's definitely an elite?
Oh yeah, well, alate just means winged ant.
Okay.
With wings. So she's definitely a queen.
But she's not the queen, right?
No, she's not the queen.
She'd be deep.
Her wings, I imagine, would be damaged. Occasionally queens do start colonies without removing their wings, but they would be...
It's just not practical,
They
right?
eventually wear away to nubs. No, they're not practical, and they eventually, like, they can actually... There's a risk they get stuck on things. I've heard of, like, fungal infections also.
Right, I
Lots
can
of little
imagine.
things. Yeah. So these are Formica exsectoides. Oh, there's actually a roach here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, sometimes you find those nesting inside of ant nests and stuff. I'm wondering if he will actually go inside. The mound isn't as aggressive this year as on past years, probably because it's such a nice day out. Well, we have these gigantic mounds of ants here. This mound isn't anywhere near as active. Yeah, we came on too nice a day. They must mostly be inside. So I'm just going to dig in here and see what happens. Yeah, hardly any aggression, really. I mean, some are pissed off, but there's nothing... No one's really pouring out. There we go.
Wow, so we'd never really find any other ants out here.
Yeah, so they evolved their ability to spray acid because things like bears, and skunks and things would like dig into their mounds to try and eat the brood inside. Just gotta knock on the door, I guess. I'm gonna put that back in there.
Not again.
Alright, so this mound actually started as just a parasitic queen invaded a host colony. And the whole thing snowballed from there. They don't require any additional workers, so they were able to just make their own. And they've just been, like, just, not really inbreeding, but they just take over the forest from there. These are Formica exsectoides. Some more Indian pipe growing here. Among the foraging line of Formica exsectoides. More of it here. It's neat because I was in Pennsylvania and a lot of this was like past its prime there. So this is neat. I've never actually seen Americanus using just a pile of leaf litter as a nest, but here they are. They were next to a log, but I've never really... they weren't underneath the log, really. And there is an alate queen. And some brood. And this is what happens when you stick your hand inside of an ant nest.
You just blow them off on me.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Wait, if you're gonna blow, let me, yeah.
Yeah, this is a,
Now from a new angle.
this will be a never-ending process.
Yes. And these would be Camponotus. Yeah, so here's another mound that we found. Looks like they're doing a bit of excavation work over here. Or they caught something. Yeah, they're eating a roach.
Really?
Yeah. They're trying to drag it into their mound. This one isn't as close to the main walking path as I would like it to be. One of these years we just come back here with a lawnmower. And yeah, sometimes they eat birds.
Is there a bird over there?
There's a feather to a bird here, but I have found like bird beaks in like...
Oh my god.
Yeah, ants. If the ants find a dead bird, sometimes they do see it as food.
Actually, yeah, this year I did see a dead baby bird being
This
eaten by ants.
type of ant that goes up into the trees and goes after aphids, I would say if they chanced upon a bird nest of some sort, they would probably...
Oh, you know what? There's another feather up here, so they...
find the eggs scrumptious. This is an adult bird, though, so they scavenged, like, something that's...
Oh, look, they got a trail over here.
And there's a trail leading back out to the path there. So, let's give them the alarm test, unless you have other plans.
No.
Okay, let's...
Oh my god, you could see it, like, within the workers all around they started.
Yeah, they started going nuts. So this is probably either a newer mound or, I mean, new for reaching this size, or they just haven't moved it around yet. Like the other one, it's usually, like it looks like it actually was one at one point and then it just divided or something. And all the ground around it is just spread up, or it's been lifted up from years of ants bringing soil in and then rain, you know, knocking it off. I imagine they put like...
This is crazy, so it's like literally like...
a mound of ants.
4 feet by 4 feet? Like a 4 foot...
Yeah, it's pretty wide across. I'd say it's wider across than...
5 feet.
Yeah, but if you look at the slope here, it's like the sun probably comes up in that direction, you know, over here, because it's
So let it like...
that way, and then it kind of just dips off. Yeah, and most of this is just tunnels.
Wow.
And you see most of the entranceways, though, are all around the outer perimeter.
Yeah, we have quite a few over here.
So if we dug in diagonally this way, we'd probably start to find brood and all the queens and stuff. There are multiple queens in this nest.
Now, if you took a queen, some brood, and some workers, do you think they'd do okay, or you'd have to...
You would need to make them so they don't gas themselves first. There's a reason you only find this species in sandy soil and pine forests. So maybe if you had that in like an open container, like a huge cooler or a jug or something.
Right, I was actually going to say,
you could
like,
possibly get away.
If you took a bucket and put the...
and just took like half the mound with you.
and put like the fluon or whatever.
I don't know. Even then, I don't know they would get done that. Oh, more Indian pipe we almost walked over.
I know.
This stuff is everywhere.
Right?
Yeah, but anyway. That would be our Formica mound, and I'm getting bitten on the ankles finally.
I think I found an Aphaenogaster.
Yeah, actually I want to see that queen at some point.
Yeah.
You can see how this mound is nowhere near as big here. Anybody home? There was a worker. Yeah, this might just be something they're setting up as a satellite area. Frog.
That ladybug's literally like shaking.
That is the Asian ladybug, unfortunately, but we have Camponotus chromaiodes all over this common milkweed plant. And they're tending the aphids or secondary leavings of the aphids as they spray it to the ground on lower leaves. Yeah, they're sort of scraping it off the leaves here. Another benefit of growing milkweed, and this field is full of it. I don't know what type of fungus this is, but it sure looks cool.
Right?
Yeah.
The coral.
So we're back visiting these guys with the foraging trails. Someone gave them a caterpillar and a grape. Which they seem more interested in getting out of their little highway than I like is these are nice big ants, and they're kind of easy to photograph. Like their features show up well. Yeah, nice big eyes, and they do all sorts of... Oh, you're doing a great job there.
Yeah, I love this lens.
Yeah. So what lens are you using here? It's just like a clip-on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. And let's have a look at your quality here. I know I'm filming a camera of a camera, but... Cool. Well, I'll have a link to your video if and when you post it.
Yeah.
They're sort of interested in this grape, but not at the same time. Like, most of them are just walking past it. Because there are ones that, after they take over a nest, they do require slaves.
Okay.
To maintain that. Formica pregandi actually moved through my yard and cleared out all of the Formica pallitifulva and inserta colonies 1 year.
Oh no.
And I'm just now getting them back like 5 or 10 years later. But something like this, after they take over a host nest, they actually don't need additional slaves, so they can just go on progressively. Look how they vary in size somewhat. It's a particularly, like, that's bigger than some of the Camponotus we saw.
Yeah, and look at the size of this little tiny one.
And then we have these small ones here.
But they're all the same?
Yeah.
There's no...
They're all the same species and stuff, and they don't like, you know, there's not like foragers really branching out left or right. They have a purpose.
Right.
In mind, they're going back over to the button bush in this case.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had all those aphids.
With all the aphids, so let's go check out those. So yeah, they're up here.
They are cute.
I do have a button bush in my yard. I wish more people would grow it. That way I could probably go to a store and actually buy it more frequently. But they're on all these different plants here. Mainly on the button bush here. If my focus would like to cooperate. And working on all the little aphids, the stems are just covered in them.
Oh, she set up my computer.
So this is an Aphaenogaster queen. Slightly smaller than I'm used to seeing, and slightly oranger than I'm used to seeing. It's not really the best lighting to describe her color, though. But she doesn't look like the Aphaenogaster rudis queens I'm used to seeing, so I would assume this is Aphaenogaster fulva. But I'm sure if I'm wrong, someone will correct me in the comments or whatever. But anyway, we call it an Aphaenogaster queen. Oh. And I'm not taking her home. This goes to my friend Evan, who's with me today. So congratulations to him. I always try to make sure when people aren't with me, they go home, you know, happy or with a gift or something. Anyway. So the winter ant is here out in summer, Prenolepis imparis, tending something in the Pea family. A lot of plants in the Pea family actually have little pores on them right before the flowers. And they are designed specifically to feed ants, so they don't steal nectar from the flower itself. See, over here. Which is probably what this plant is doing. I don't see any aphids, do you?
No, but this one's playing with something on the plant.
And it's a really neat plant. It's a little scrub plant here. It's little pea pods up in the air. But anyway, this is like the lowest I've ever seen Prenolepis imparis foraging to the ground. Just because this plant is barely 2 inches off the ground. Actually, I'd say the seed pods are the tallest part of this plant. So these are Trachymyrmex something or other, long S word. These are a fungus-growing species you can find as far north as New Jersey. I don't know how far south they go, probably well into Arizona, I think, and probably in Mexico. But this is the only species that really makes it past Texas. And they nest in these weird sorts of scrublands. Usually adjacent to an oak forest, in a clearing with lots of odd sorts of plants and types of, I don't really know what to call half of this. But anyway, these are Trachymyrmex. Oh, and a really small ant there. Not sure what that is. Alright, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.